So it's quite a challenge to cover any topic in 5 minutes, but I'm going to attempt to give you the history of behavioral economics and at the same time tell you why it's relevant to the challenges that we've heard already this morning. So this is a little bit about me in pictures. It's up there not because I'm an egomaniac, but instead because I think there's some things that are very easy to know about customers, your friends. These are things that you should know about me if I were one of your clients and I walked into your office. All of this is obtainable via the internet and very readily. But there's things up here that basically have nothing to do with what you would recommend for me on how I would save or invest, or how I would balance what ultimately is my own, what I call financial triangle. This balancing act between constraints, goals, and preferences, and what the right recipe and answers are for me. And my contention is that when you look at the innovation that's occurring around the world, it's a very personalized experience. That the companies that are listed here have made very big promises to their customers and challenged and taken on very big problems. And I think the question I want to ask everyone around the table is whether we're really thinking big enough, and whether the things that we're actually focused on today are actually the solution, or whether we've even identified the problem. And I'm going to give you a new problem and solution, hopefully all in the course of the next minute. So, unfortunately, this is supposed to tell you what I believe the winning promise is to investors. And the winning promise to investors, or anyone that's managing their financial life, is that you as their provider are going to help fully understand who they are. And then, once you have that understanding, you're going to make sure that every cent that they have makes sense for who they are. That's a very big promise. That's the type of promise that if you actually deliver on it, it puts you on this page alongside those other companies. And right now, if you look across financial services globally, there's no firm on this page. There's no one who's earned a spot on this page. And I think that's ultimately what will happen, and now I'm going to tell you what I think is part of that equation of making it happen. So the major problem that I see within financial services today is that we have a massive disconnect between the science of building products and portfolios and constructing pension systems, et cetera, and the science of understanding clients. It's not surprising. I grew up on a derivatives desk at JP Morgan, and I spent most of my time staring at a screen trying to perfect the next interest rate hedge. But in reality, that's only one part of the equation. I think in large part, financial products are totally optimized. Every portfolio, ekes out the last bit of alpha. ETFs were dropping costs on delivering services. But actually, to the left-hand side of this, the science of understanding clients has been entirely underinvested in over the last 50 years. And so I want to introduce you to a concept that I think is going to help solve this. And I think we've discussed it a little bit today, that actions speak louder than words, right? People talk a good game about what they want to do with their money or how they think about their retirement, but their behavior, what's revealed in their behavior, is totally different. And I'm going to test this concept on you right now. So I'm going to give you a survey, okay, a typical survey that we might use to understand people. The survey is, how much do you like dolphins from 1 to 10? Do I have an answer? 10. I have a 10. 10. Okay, typically people give me an 8. Now, very important and implied in this question is, what would I actually mean by like? Like to eat dolphins, like to swim with dolphins? I mean, there's a very different, right? So there's something very imprecise in the question, yet I gave you an answer, okay? The same is true in financial services. The question is not how much do you like dolphins, but I've asked you a revealed preference question, which is how much money, time, or anything in your life have you ever invested in a dolphin? The same person that gives me the answer of an 8, that they like dolphins, is going to give me the answer of a 0, that they've never invested in a dolphin. They spend more time on their haircut or thinking about their morning coffee. So this is the fundamental problem. If we do not solve the science of understanding customers, we can never digitally deliver or even face-to-face deliver advice or engage people in a journey where they improve their own financial well-being. The biggest culprit within financial services right now are these ridiculous questionnaires, where we try to get at people's risk attitudes and time preferences, when in reality there's no mathematical underpinning to any of this work, and we don't learn anything precise enough to connect them to the financial services that they actually need. The answer is in something that I would call applied behavioral economics. And this is not looking at what people say, but what people do. And while I have to summarize everything in now 5 seconds, I will say that if actions speak louder than words, we need to look at what people's decisions are, get the right diagnostics into the financial services system, whether it be KiwiSaver, the workplace, educational organizations, and from those diagnostics around people's behavior, help them understand the preferences that actually drive their financial actions, which include their risk preferences, their time preferences, and the actual priorities that manifest themselves when they look at the decisions that they make. And so, excitingly, when you do that, you have a much richer business, you have a much richer data set, and you have a much richer set of choices on how you choose to engage with individuals, whether that be for-profit or non-for-profit, government or financial institution. So with that, I'll leave you with the final thought that the future is this advancement of the science of understanding clients and the science of investing or advice or retirement, and that is available now. And so I expect that you'll see this continue to advance, and this will be one of the positive disruptions that impact financial services. So thank you.